Okay, Brian, back from McKay Marine in Canada, going through the Olex system. Basically, we're going to talk about the Arpa function. So, Arpa, you basically connect a satellite compass or a good heading source, could be a gyro, something like that, to your radar. If it's capable, you can lock on targets manually or automatically, depending on the model, and it will output the information to Olex. What Olex will then plot is it will plot those targets on your chart, and it's very useful for navigation, collision avoidance, or just general surveillance. So as you can see, the vessel's over here in Trondheim, Norway, sailing along here. I'm picking up, looks like probably a buoy here. I'm picking up. It's off a little bit, but that could be the buoy could have moved a bit from where it normally is on the chart. And then I look down here and I see the red targets are targets that are locked in by the radar, and the gray targets are targets that are acquired but not quite fully locked in. So if I look here, I know these are high-speed catamarans. I've seen them before. So if I zoom in on one of these targets here, the red one, I can click on it and I can get a quick course and bearing and speed on him. I also get the distance. So he's almost 10 miles away from me, but yet I can track him fine. If I really want to go into him, I can name it, and I could say, that's a ferry. Whoops, I hit the wrong keyboard there. That's a ferry, and I can say track him. So at that time, I can track him. I can come look at this one. I might not know who he is, so I'm just going to track him. And I'm watching the two vessels here while I'm sailing out, so I can keep an idea of where they are. It's a little difficult to see in the demo. I'll try to move it up to see as much as I can. But if I touch on the vessel, it shows me when I sail and reach this point. When I reach this point, there's a vector that shows he'll be way down. Obviously, he's not going to run aground, but based on his current speed and course, he would land down here. So I'm not in an area of collision. Now, if our two vectors were to meet in the distance for collision, the system would flash and notify me, so I could either alter my speed or slightly change my course. So that's the basic Arpa function. The system can handle as many Arpa targets as the radar can put out. For some of the lighter marine stuff, it's usually about 10 targets. Some of the middle-size radars can be as much as 50, and some of the bigger ones even more than that. So it basically just depends on the equipment, what it can put out, but Olex will take as many as it can. And you can see where I was tracking the ferry up here. Let's say I'm done. I'm done tracking. I've now made a track line that I could store in a separate plot layer here if I wish to. So very nice feature there. The other thing you have is AIS. I'm going to swap to a quick AIS demo, and we'll have a look here. So automatic identification system. You'll look here. It's a little different than the Arpa, because radar targets, you could slightly have a difference in heading, a difference in timing, whereas with AIS, it's transmitting the vessel's position. So if we look here, we have our vessel here, another vessel here, and we have another vessel here. Looks like it's coming into dock here. So if I click on it, I can see the information about them, the name of the boat, course, speed, distance from me, and this little number here is the update rate. So I can see I'm getting information pretty much every 2 seconds from him, so very fast update. If I click on this guy, I'm about a 3-second interval, I believe. 4, yeah. One thing with AIS that's different, if you look at the radar targets that were there before, they were in red and they were all the same size because we don't know the size of the radar target. But with AIS, if it's properly put into the ship's system on the other ship, you get a more relative idea of how big the vessel is. So if I pick on this Aberdeen, I have a list here. I can go to the Aberdeen and I can get some information about him if he's entered it into his AIS. So So I've got his call sign number, MMSI number, length of the ship, width of the ship, whatever their vessel is entered into that. So very nice. When you go to the list, it always gives you, you can separate it by distance or by name. Okay, so it's kind of nice that you can put the closest ones to you. Now I'm clicked onto one of these here. I'll take that off, but you can really track and follow other vessels. So I've got another AIS target out here, which is slightly different too. So, but it does give you that information, and again, you can see the list. So if you want to pick a certain vessel, I might say, oh, what's this vessel? I want it. Click on it. You don't know where it is yet, so you zoom out. Oh, there's the box right there. So that's the vessel in here, sitting at dock. Okay. So that's a brief explanation of AIS and ARPA on Olex.